Welcome to today's press conference with the director Haifaa al Mansour. I'm going to hand over the microphone to our artistic director Marit Kaplan. And after this press conference, you are free to ask questions. And if you would like some one-to-one time with Haifaa al Mansour, please come to me because she has a really tight schedule. But I think we can arrange something for you.
Thank you, Ulrika, and hello, welcome to Haifaa al Mansour. Again, we're going to talk about your feature film debut, Värsta, which has also a Swedish title, the Gröna Cykeln, meaning the green bike, because the green bike is an important vehicle in the film. In short, this is a story about a 10-year-old girl who more than anything, she wants this bike, but it's not okay really for girls to bike in Saudi Arabia, where she lives in this town. So she has this idea of trying to earn her money by herself to be able to achieve this, get this bike. And there's also a parallel story with her mother and father, where her father is thinking of finding a second wife. The film is nominated for our debut award, the Ingmar Bergman International Debut Award, so it's one of the 8 nominees. And first question for you, whenever this is really standing out, Värsta, since it's the first film ever filmed entirely in Saudi Arabia, and it's the first film also to be directed by a woman from Saudi Arabia. Can you tell us a little bit, it's been a long journey with Värsta, 5 years if I'm correctly informed. Can you tell us about the starting point for this film?
Well, thank you so much for coming today. It's really nice to be here, and yeah, I'm very honored to be one of the 8 nominees in the Bergman Award. And yeah, the film started 5 years with writing the script and trying to get the finance and shooting. The first thing ever, I wrote a treatment in 2008 and I sent it to Haifaa and they gave me the development grant.
Yeah, this is a fund that the film festival in Rotterdam is managing.
Yes, and that's it. That was the beginning, the very beginning, and after that was really hard. I wrote a script, and then it was basically the script started with a girl that represented my world, my country, and my hometown tradition, and then the bike, the concept of modernity, acceleration, freedom, but nothing in between. Everything has to be reconstructed. So writing the story was emotionally a little difficult because I wanted something that is easy and accessible to people. And so after I finished the script, was finding a producer that was another challenge because Saudi doesn't have theaters. So it was hard for people to invest. Like just go invest in money from the Middle East. I needed a co-production to open the film a little bit to the world. And it's hard for a producer, especially in the West, to get on board. It's a lot of time and investment. And then I made a profile of each company that produced any film in the Middle East. And if they did, they are most maybe interested in producing a film like that.
Like every production company from Europe and...
From Europe, yes. And then few, of course, a lot of them never answered. My name is Haifaa al Mansour, I'm a filmmaker from Saudi. It was right to their info, or just like maybe straight to the, I don't know, kind of mail, junk mail. But yeah, and then Razor answered. Razor Film that did what's with Bashir and Paradise Now, and they said, yeah, send a synopsis. And that was amazing. That was the first day. I was really happy that they answered, and I sent a synopsis, but I never heard back for I don't know how many months. But I started also promoting the film, like getting it in labs, and one of the labs are in Sundance Writers Lab, and they were really good in the Middle East. They're really good, and they also knew that I'm talking to Razor, and they put us further in contact, and then we got together, and they took the finance from Germany, and then we tried to pair them with finance in the Middle East. And Rotana Studios, which is a Saudi company, entertainment company, came in, and we took our finance and started shooting. So that was really, but that took really, really long.
Because, like you said in a seminar yesterday, there are no cinemas in Saudi Arabia, and there's practically no infrastructure for filmmakers. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was the shooting challenge. Like after we got the money and everything, we went and shooting was difficult because yes, we had permission from government because there's like TV productions that are happening every day, and all what we've done, we had the TV producer come on board, and he helped us with filming and everything. But like dealing with people on every day was difficult. The society was conservative. I wasn't, for example, able to go down in the street and just when we are out to direct. I had to be like in the press brief. I had to be in the van and direct them away. And I had a monitor and a walkie-talkie, and I would speak to them.
It's because it's not okay to be working with men in the street, or what is the
country is segregated. You cannot it's not accepted for women to be just in the streets working in a mixed environment with men. And really we didn't want to provoke, so we wanted to respect the culture and work within the system. And then we had sandstorms. We didn't budget for sandstorms. And we lost locations last minute, and because people are nervous, they don't know what to do with film, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they just want to stay away. And we had to find locations very quickly, and we had a small budget. You cannot lose like a half day because someone just changed their mind or some. And it was scary at some points. We felt like we're running out of time, we're running out of money. And we are not there with the script, like we are not finishing as much as we are not progressing in the same normally, like we don't finish 3 minutes a day or something like that.
And you also had protected kind of the shooting with guards standing lookout, even though you had permission.
Yeah, it was very important for us not to run into trouble with like maybe some conservatives, so we had people trying to protect us from the production, and they will always jump in if someone tries to interfere in the shooting, and yeah. And it's very important because that is how they do it in TV. We just jump into their system, and they have all those, they have the whole production only just to make sure that nobody obstructs the shooting while they're outside. If someone upset because there's a camera or something, they know how to deal with that. They just choke them and take yeah, so. But it was interesting. It was very challenging. It was difficult, but it's very interesting. And I felt like I come originally from Riyadh, but we settled in the East. And it was for me coming home. And for me as a woman, I never had feel of what is the street. The street is I'm from the house to the office, to the driven or taken. Never felt the street. And while I was shooting, it was such a rewarding just to be able to have this feeling of freedom a little.
And there's a wonderful girl in the main role, Reem Abdullah. And can you tell us a little bit how you find her? She's absolutely wonderful.
Reem Abdullah is a big TV star in Saudi. She's the biggest, and she.
Sorry, that's not the girl. It's a woman. No. Sorry.
We'll speak a little about Reem, and then we go to Ad. But Reem didn't really want to make this film. It's film. We don't have film. It's it will go nobody will hear about it. So it was hard to convince a major star from TV to come on film, because TV is her world. If she makes a TV, she will appear. She knows where it's going to be, and for film, but there's no film, and most probably it will be a bad film, and most probably nobody will see it, and it will never be in the theater. So it's a waste of time, of her time. That is all what she thought. So it was hard to convince her. But Wa'ad Muhammad, the little girl.
Because she's playing the mother and the little girl.
Yeah, Wajda. Wajda is, it's harder because we cannot put an open casting call. People get sometimes a little upset when we call for women to come and audition for a film. So we relied on the system already exists, and there are production companies in Saudi that do a lot of holiday dancing and festivals, and they recruit a lot of kids for that. And Wahid was one of those kids, and she came in very late in the auditioning process, and she came in exactly like Wajda, wearing jeans and Converse, and just listening to Justin Bieber, and she doesn't speak English. It is not like her, she's an international school kind of a kid. No, she's very much from the heart of Riyadh, and it was really nice to see that. It's like she's part of a bigger global youth culture that even if she doesn't speak English or never traveled or left Riyadh. And then we auditioned her, and she had a spike in her arms. And she sings really beautifully, so that was it for us. But I think she had to convince her parents. She didn't tell us that. Like, I think she rallied behind the scene because her mother was a little worried for her to be on this film, but she lobbied, she convinced them.
And I think your film has a freshness and authenticity about it, and it's really a delight to watch. Can you tell us a little bit about your cinematic influences? What did you want to achieve cinematically?
I wanted something simple, and I don't want to be overwhelmed with the style and stuff. I just wanted to go to the heart of each scene and never worry about trying to be smart or trying to be like, I don't know, have very elaborate moves, as much as like be close to the actors and to be close to the audience. I just want them to feel, and that was very important for me. And I really liked Jafar Banahi's films, like Offside, for example. It is very young and colorful and funny. And I love the situation in the Middle East is really hard. So I really don't want to make a film that is only about complaining about the situation, as much as I want a film that has hope and has color and moves ahead. And then I love the Darden brothers too. Yeah, they're amazing. I love Rosetta. She's like this girl who will never give up and wants to raise above her circumstances. And I feel that as women we need something inspiring like that, push us forward. And then of course, Bicycle Thief. The Bicycle Thief and Italian muralism, and there is a freshness and just dealing with everyday life and just bringing it to people. And I think it's complex. Like the complexity is embedded in there, and people can find things for themselves. I don't have to be to put it for them. I just like present it, and they can like dig and find things. So.
Do we have any questions for Haifaa al Mansour? Yes.
Where will your film be shown? I mean, it won't be shown in Saudi Arabia, will it? Can't be.
Where will the film be shown?
It would be shown in Saudi on TV and DVD. So we have to synchronize that with the release of theatrical release in the Middle East. We don't want to go on TV before. But Saudi's, there's a blockbuster video rental, very big. It was very big. Now everybody goes to internet. But the video rentals and the movies is very much present in the Saudi society. It is just the distinction between what is public and what is private. In the private, people can watch films and can do anything. It is like the existence of art in the public sphere that is very much is not still. The society is not ready for. They think it is not pure, and they wanted to create a sort of a utopia, and we're still trying to to get beyond that stage. But the film is very much, Saudis know what is film and they appreciate it, and they go and drive to nearby countries like Qatar and Bahrain to watch films. So I'm counting on them driving all the way.
And another question?
Yeah, the same question, but do you think this is a starting point for the Saudi film industry? Or?
If this is the starting point for the Saudi film industry?
I think yes. Not industry per se, but I think it is a wave of new films coming from Saudi. Because I hope this model and the production model provide an example for filmmakers to follow. Because the main obstacle that film is an expensive medium. Even independent film is not like cheap. So nobody can just write a check and do it. It's not like painting. So you need to have investors, you need to have people coming on board, you have to apply for funds. And I think it is very important to create a way for people to find, because since there's no theaters, nobody wants to invest in film in Saudi because it is just, because there's no money in it. You put the money and you don't see it. So I hope in that way it provides an example for people to follow. They know how to get money and where to get money from and how to get money again from the film when it is finished.
Do we have another question?
Yes. I'm wondering if you've seen in your lifetime an evolution of the situation of women in Saudi Arabia, and if so, what do you think the future will be maybe 10 or 20 years for the country?
So the question is, if you see in your lifetime a development for rights for women in Saudi Arabia, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. Saudi Arabia is opening up, like slowly but gradually, but certainly in the right direction. Like last year we saw two girls going to the Olympics, and that is really big. And they are authentic Saudis. We know who they are. We know their names. We know their families. So it is not like a pretend. Sometimes people pretend that they want. But no, and then there is last week there were 30 women appointed for the Shura Council by the king. The Shura Council is one of the highest political representation in the kingdom. And then, we will start voting too in 2014. So there are lots of stuff, and it's very important to understand that the official opinion is pushing for women, and they're sending girls all over the world now to get more education with a scholarship, girls or boys. But it's very important to know that the society itself at heart is very conservative and resistant to change. They don't want women they feel, and I respect that. I think for them they're afraid to embrace change. And for them that is what they knew for so long, and they cannot really just jump and next day and do. And it needs to take time, and we need to give people space to find their own pace of changing. But it is happening, and I see it maybe not on things that the media can report on. On every day when I go back to my hometown, I see how people changed a lot, and how I see some kids, some girls from my hometown, which is very conservative, they're already sending their girls to go and have education abroad, and that is never heard of. And maybe the media cannot pick on dynamics, small dynamics like this, but it is happening. People are changing and loosening up and giving women more opportunities for sure. So in 10 years we will see tremendous change for women. And for men, the country altogether is opening up and becoming more tolerant and taking steps towards but the eyeball is very hard to predict at the end.
Another question? If not, I think it's just about time to close the press conference, and maybe there's some time to talk to you later, even though we have a very busy schedule. So thanks a lot, Haifaa al Mansour.
Thank you so much guys for coming. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the